unclick this button, but now we're live. Good morning, AusCryptoCon Day 2, 2025. We're here bright and early with Trevor. How are you doing, Trevor?
Going,
Yeah, good. Trevor is an IR customer, crypto enthusiast, and he's been the first guy at our booth every single morning so far. So welcome.
You were bloody busy yesterday.
We did. Like, if anyone tuned in yesterday, we had about 15, 16 different guests of all different colourful persuasions and backgrounds. We had, unfortunately, it was a live, so we couldn't cut some of the conversations. But if you do ever want to look back, it's very colourful. Anyway,
So no swearing, right?
there was.
For me.
Look, you can say what you need to if you want to talk about the markets. I'm sure there'll be a few colourful words.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about yourself, your introduction to crypto. When did you first get into it?
Yeah, sure. I got a friend who's a bit sort of into anything techie.
Yep.
He got me in, it was late 2017. I heard about Bitcoin at 8,000. I signed up to Independent Reserve and put some money in straight away, and it was already 11,000. A couple of weeks later, it was 25,000, and I was like,
huge
what
increase.
the hell happened? And I took a little bit of profit. I took my initial investment out, let the rest ride down, and then I started watching crypto YouTube. So Carl from the Moon, I started watching him at about 3,000 subscribers. I started watching him, and then I went pretty heavy. I took 30 grand out of my home loan, bought 1.5 Bitcoin, bought 10 Ethereum, bought 5 Ethereum, 10 Litecoin.
Wow.
And
so you're not OG, but close enough.
Watched it go to 8 grand. That was scary, man. I was stressed. I was depressed about it. What did I do?
So what was the first time that you saw everything take a nosedive, what convinced you to hold on? I mean, if you're there for one of the first or second cycles, there's no history to go, this is coming back up.
Lost a lot of money, and I just thought, nah. I think the HODL meme or whatever came out around that time, or somewhere there, I heard that, and I thought, well, we'll just stick it out. We'll stick it out.
Well, braver than a lot of us, because you're seeing at the moment, because of the market, I wouldn't call it capitulation. The market's gone a bit down recently. Mate. And if you go on Twitter without a sense of experience, you could feel like the sky's falling.
Yeah.
So,
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip. I mean,
did last night.
This is not financial advice, I have to say. Past performance is not a good indication of future performance. But we can talk predictions because you're not representing the company, so that's fine.
Sure.
So where do you see, I guess, Bitcoin going by the end of the year, by the end of next year? What's your hopes, dreams, or biggest fears?
This bull market, which I currently think we're still in, about 150 US, so 220 Australian is where I was looking at cashing out.
Okay.
And I've got plenty of lines on charts on TradingView and all this sort of stuff. And I still think that can happen. May not happen by the end of the year, which is what I was expecting. But Bitcoin is never in a bear market. Zoom out, it is in a bull market.
I mean,
Long term, it's in a bull market.
I mean, the trend is up and to the right.
I don't care. 1 year down, it's still in a bull market to me.
And I mean, even though we're down today, you look at 12 months ago at the last AusCryptoCon, we were, I think, 40% lower than where we are now.
Yep.
Roughly. Look, don't fact check me. Someone probably will. But yeah, so it's, again, up and to the right is the trend.
Yep.
And zoom out if you're ever concerned, if you feel like the sky's falling. You haven't lost anything until you withdraw.
Yeah.
Technically.
It's all on paper until you cash out, right?
That's very right. Okay, so other than Bitcoin, where is your faith?
So after the last big bull run 4 years ago, altcoins went up a lot. So my strategy was to buy Bitcoin at the bottoms, which I did. I was lifting the carpets on the car, looking for loose change, moving the cushions off the couch, looking for
You're
loose
lucky
change.
you've got loose change.
And I was buying as much as I could. It got to like 25 grand. I think I was unemployed at the time. I was sweeping out accounts.
Wow.
Looking for money anywhere to buy Bitcoin. And then probably, for the last year and a half, I've been buying heavily altcoins.
Yep.
So I was looking at Bitcoin dominance chart and I can't remember the level, but over a certain level, 50% or something, I started going in heavily into altcoins every week, just buying whatever I thought was good value. So I've got just about everything that Independent Reserve actually offers at the moment. And yeah, they're in the toilet at the moment. So maybe that wasn't a smart move, but I think apart from the 4-year cycle, liquidity plays a big part of this.
Yep.
The debt cycle plays into this, and Bitcoin is considered risky to traditional markets and players. So the money goes there last, and altcoins are the risky of the riskiest. That's where the real degenerate gamblers go, and I'm expecting them to come one day. And when they do, I will sell out and I'll make whatever, 5x, 10x, and I'll be happy.
That's true. So,
and then I'll put it into Bitcoin.
So the last altcoin winners of the last cycle would be, I guess, your top 10. So your Ethereum,
yep.
Solana, Cardano, Link. Help me out here.
I had some absolute dog shit. I had EOS, which you don't list anymore. I had OMG, which you don't list, and man, they did like friggin' from like $2,000 to $20,000. Sorry, $2 to $20 sort of thing. That moves even bigger than that. I can't remember the actual numbers, but I made a lot of money on them. I was happy.
Well, EOS is a strange one because we don't delist for any reason other than liquidity, right? So our market makers or our sources of liquidity, when it's not just on the order book, if they don't want to hold a certain token, we can't offer it anymore, because if you've ever looked at an order book, it's a staggered list of prices, and they get worse and worse as the liquidity gets thinner.
Yeah.
And we had people coming in saying, I just bought $1,000 of EOS and I got the worst price possible.
Yep.
That's because you burned through all of our liquidity.
Yeah.
And so we had to delist it for that reason. And you also find coins like Maker. Maker did an upgrade which wasn't compatible with a lot of our systems, and there was just no demand for it. So we had to remove that too.
Bought a ton of that. Look, that's a good point. I always look at the list of buy and sell orders when I buy these days, and quite often, I'm sure there's bots in there that move the market around, and I don't put market or I put limit orders every time now.
That's a smart
move. I buy
move.
and sell with limit orders.
Yeah, wow.
Yep.
So it's interesting you make that comment about bots.
Unless the spread is really small and there's depth of liquidity, it'll be a limit order.
Well, you'll find that in the top 3. So you'll find that, top 4, I guess, XRP, ETH, Sol, and Bitcoin. There's so much liquidity and so much depth that you can, oftentimes, we'll say you can spend $25,000 to $50,000 on the order book without even moving the price and no slippage.
Yeah.
Anything bigger than that, or on a coin with thinner liquidity, then we say come through the OTC desk and stuff like that. So what I was saying about bots is we actually do, most exchanges have liquidity bots. So they're large market makers that have automated their order books, and will, every time there's a purchase or a sell, they'll come in and they'll fill all of these orders at the best price. Everyone still makes a profit, but they'll fill in these order book prices very quickly, and it's a way to stop slippage. Wintermute's a good example. They're a massive liquidity provider used by all of the exchanges in Australia, and they're very effective at stopping liquidity cascade and liquidation events, essentially. So I guess predictions for altcoins. Who are you most bullish on?
Look, we were talking yesterday, and I bought a fair amount of Chainlink.
Yep.
Buy price under $20. I started buying at $10. I think I got some at $8 or $9 even, but probably averaging, somewhere $17 to $20 is my average buy price. My tip, I'm expecting it to go to $100 at some point.
Yep.
I think it's an important chain. Do I really understand it? I don't actually. I can see Sergey is a really smart guy, but I don't understand all the tech stuff he talks about. But it's a little bit different in application for me to what everything else is in the top 20. So I bought a stack of that. Yeah, I've got plenty of Ethereum too. I'm stacking Ethereum first half of this year. Basically every week just buying Ethereum.
Yep.
You know, thanks to Ethereum and Bitcoin, that's how I paid my house off a few years back. So yeah, I'm still into those big ones. Yeah, look, a lot of people talk about this. I buy the altcoins to then accumulate more Bitcoin.
Yep. Okay.
So that's the plan, is to do that trade, get the shit. If we have an alt season, I'll take a couple of weeks off work and I'll sit on the computer 24 hours a day, hovering over the sell button on everything, to try and make some money to then, wait for the next big drop in Bitcoin and buy up again.
Okay, yeah. It's funny that you mentioned, before you mentioned that Bitcoin was the risk asset and altcoins are the super risk asset.
Yep.
It didn't feel like that in 2022 and 2021.
No, we were all
It felt like
geniuses.
you could, and a few of my colleagues have used this analogy before, you could literally put $100 on PooCoin and make your $1,000 in a week.
Yep.
And that's what it felt like. But do you have a theory why altcoins had such a presence in the last cycle?
Yeah, there was more money available. You got the governments were handing out money left, right, and centre. There was monetary stimulus, fiscal stimulus. I remember one day the government put $500 billion, I think it was, into social services, and the central bank issued $500 billion. Yeah, so
wow.
that's a lot of money that's got to go somewhere. And when you sit, I think we were talking about when you're sitting at home on your new couch because you're unemployed and you can't go to work, watching Netflix, drinking beer, and you got nothing else to do. What do? You become a degenerate gambler, don't you?
And they banned a lot of they banned online poker for Australia at the same time, which is interesting because actually per capita, we Australians do more DeFi than any other country in the world per capita.
Yep.
Even beating out South Korea, which is nuts. I didn't know that until a few months ago. And so, who knows? Maybe the banning of poker and certain gambling websites did that. I mean, gambling does have a huge hold in Australia. Not that investing in crypto is gambling, but there are correlations. But there's also, and I guess you can also talk about why we haven't seen another altcoin summer yet. Do you think we're, from a cost of living and monetary perspective, do you think we're in a hangover? We're paying the debt from 2021 and 2022?
We are still. Look, this is a rabbit hole for me that I've been going down since probably 2018. Macroeconomics. I did economics at high school and I've rediscovered economics. Man, the money printer. We need the money printer, and that'll just bring out the degenerates. We're institutional now in crypto, and there, I started looking at YouTube for professional traders and what they're actually like. They're worse than the rest of us. They are absolute degenerate gamblers.
Well, I'm not sure, was it you that told me yesterday that some of the...
on a Friday night, they'll be placing bets
there
on
we go,
how many little packets of mayonnaise you can eat before vomiting, stuff like that. And they get rewarded with, at least in America, with... they're incentivized. If they do well, they get a reward where they get a free entry into a big poker tournament in Las Vegas. So
the whole world is just a dopamine machine.
So they're worse than we are, man. I'm waiting for them to enter the space and see what happens.
It's funny, like if that all that theory is true, then everyone in crypto would love another stimulus event, would love another pandemic, would love another. But at the end of the day, that debt's got to be paid. We just want one more cycle and then cashing out. Everyone wants to be no one wants to be the last person holding that bag. So that's interesting. And I mean, there was another theory. I don't know if I spoke to you or someone else that a lot of the 2021-22 altcoin season was apparently not created by, but definitely bolstered by FTX. They were doing massive altcoin purchases, essentially with customer money, and that's what caused. Once they went under, that caused a cascading of a lot of the crypto market. So it's unfortunate that we had that bad actor in the scene, but at the same time, it also helped a lot of people.
Who's going to be the next one? Who's got the most leverage now in crypto?
So
someone's going to come undone, and when it does, it'll go down a lot, and I'll buy up again.
Well,
Simple.
it's funny because a lot of people are trying to make sense of why Bitcoin has fallen 30 to 40% over the past few weeks. And a lot of people are pointing towards a metric where there's a lot of OG wallets which are, they don't say selling because we can't see that metric, but they can see there's a lot of movement from Satoshi era wallets moving big amounts to exchanges.
I'm not convinced.
But again, all we're seeing is the movement. You've got Whale Alert coin.
Why would you sell? If you've got, say you've got 100,000 Bitcoin, right?
Yep.
How much money do you actually need?
It depends if you've never sold.
If you're just a regular Joe and want to retire and you bought a stack of Bitcoin when it was $5 or something, you're going to sell. You know, I know someone who had Bitcoin back in the day, and he sold 10 Bitcoin at 110,000 and retired. Right? He put it in some ETF product that paid him an income.
Yep.
And he doesn't need a lot to support his lifestyle, and he's still got a ton more crypto, so he's happy. Right?
Wow.
So, you know, if you've got a stack of Bitcoin, you'd only be selling it if you needed to service something else. Yeah. Maybe pay off your other investments that have gone bad on Wall Street or whatever. Yeah.
Well, my interesting Bitcoin story is back in the day, it would have been 2016, 2017. I was subscribed to a website of ill repute. It wasn't an adult website. It was just a streaming site. Let's be clear. Anyway, and they didn't accept traditional credit card payments. You could only buy with Bitcoin through a ramping service, but you actually had to buy the Bitcoin first, open an Exodus wallet, send the Bitcoin to your wallet, and then pay through the wallet. And my initial purchase was 10.9 Bitcoin. Yep. And the subscription at the time, the value was about 7 Bitcoin. So I had 3 Bitcoin in dust. Yep. Which I've never, I don't know how to access. It's gone. It's gone. So it's one of those dust wallets that never exists. But 3 Bitcoin, which was what, like $10 at the time or something like that?
No big deal, right?
No, nothing.
Not now.
I've got accounts that I've closed with more. So yeah, that's my story of coulda, woulda, shoulda, but I didn't. Yeah. So yeah.
I wanted to say another thing about the economy and what's going on. You know, I'm in manufacturing. I've been manufacturing my whole life. The economy's dead. You know, it's been, the last few years been really hard in manufacturing. I've worked in a number of companies in recent years, and even one that I worked in for 9 years that's driven by credit. Yep. It's the transportation sector. Yeah, no one's buying trucks at the moment.
So why?
Because there's no liquidity there.
You're saying everyone's broke? Or
I think
not everyone.
I think we're at the end of it. I think at some point soon, the government's going to go, well, we need to first of all refinance our own debt, because all the governments are broke, let's face it. You know, there's going to be a rebellion when the price of food gets to a point where no one can afford to eat, right? So they have to start the cycle. They have to drop interest rates. They have to put more liquidity into the system.
Where does that money come from, though?
The whole thing comes from the money printer.
Yeah, but I mean, once you do that, the price of food goes up even more. It's a vicious
more
cycle.
Inflation, yeah, but that's the way it works. You know, when I was a kid, I used to buy a pie from the school canteen for 50 cents.
Yeah,
How much is a pie now? Yeah,
I remember I'm not sure how old you are. I'm
old enough.
I'm probably not far behind you, but I remember Salada biscuits.
Yeah.
A little paper packet of 10 of those was 5 cents for me.
Yeah.
And a 5-cent Carabuds. Super Dupers were 25 cents. And I think a sausage roll, was $1.
Yeah.
Maybe $1.50. So, and now I bought a sausage roll this morning from the servo. It was $5.95.
Yep.
So that's
it's at the point now where, you know, people are not drinking. You know, a friend of mine used to say to me, I've had to give up my midweek drink with my wife. We just can't afford it. We've got to pay the mortgage now, you know.
Well, I think I actually bought a beer from a bar Friday night. It was a beer that was not covered by the bar tab. My mistake, because it was bottled. $14.95 for a Corona.
Yeah, ridiculous.
It's enough to make you go sober.
By the way, did you know a slab of beer only costs about $20 to make?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
believe that.
no, less than that. Oh shit, I've forgotten. I used to do this as well. No, maybe it was there's about $27 or something for a slab of beer to manufacture.
Yeah, wow.
The rest is tax. Something like that.
I just came back from Bali.
I may
where
not have the numbers right.
A bintang was about $1.70, $1.80, and I'm like, they're still making profit off this somehow. So, so it's an expensive world we live in. Generally, that's good. That's good for risk assets, but we don't know which way the pendulum will swing. I'm hoping, just like Trevor here, that we get 220k Bitcoin by the end of next year. A lot of the industry guys are believing the same thing. They believe that this is just a trench. This is just a momentary. Just like last cycle where we had a 30% pull down, waiting for that next leg up. What the catalyst will be for that is we don't 100% know. But judging by the enthusiasm at AusCryptoCon, I am here for it. Speaking of AusCryptoCon, what are you excited to see today? Who are you here to say?
Oh, we
here
talked
to see
about this before, didn't
Yep.
we? You cheated on this question. All right. So I watch Real Vision on YouTube quite often. Raoul Pal. I like when he does his Friday night drinks with Raoul. He eats nice snacks, drinks good booze, and insults you, and then tells you about the market. All right. So I reckon that's cool. I watch a lot of YouTube. That's where I get a lot of my information. I don't actually know really anyone else in crypto apart from a couple of people I've got into crypto. So it's good to be able to access that format and get a lot of information on things.
Yeah, cool.
I've gone down the gold rabbit hole a bit too, but I'm more crypto orientated. There's lots of information out there if you want to go.
Well, if you want to avoid those long lines at Martin Place's gold reserves, we did just launch Tether Gold, so you can, and that's another topic again, tokenization, which is supposed to be the narrative that will bring this season back to life. Tokenization is huge, basically putting traditional markets on chain, and by all accounts, all markets will be tokenized by 2030. That's the prediction. It's a smarter, more efficient way to do things. And also, one problem with the stock market that you don't have with crypto is stock market closes at 5 p.m. That's an insanely inefficient way to run markets.
So does the gold market. You can't buy gold at midnight, can you?
You can with Independent Reserve.
You can, yeah.
Tether Gold.
Well, you had Perth Mint Gold token a while ago too.
We did for a while. That's no longer operating tokenized, which is it's interesting. That was well ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But Tether Gold is actually verifiably audited, backed one-to-one with gold. There are some silver tokens which are coming out. There's also, I believe there's also a tokenized plutonium, which I don't really... you definitely want to tokenize that and not hold it yourself. Right? So yeah. So you were here yesterday.
Yep.
What booths did you check out?
Look, I've been everywhere, man.
I thought you were about to bust into song then.
No. Probably one of the biggest things that I saw is it was a YouTuber speaking over the other side there.
Oh, yeah?
And I got there a little bit late. It was packed. There were people standing outside the auditorium, and I was doing this to try and listen to what he's got to say. And he was doing a lot of TA on on-chain data.
Right.
Which was really interesting because I haven't seen much in the way of TA here. It's all been a lot of crypto lending, and there's been a lot of that I've listened to.
What are your thoughts on TA? Is it good information or is it astrology for men?
No. Look, I follow some basic TA. Like I'll put a few lines on charts, some Fibonacci's, and not a lot else. But yeah, I think TA is very valuable in making decisions. More so than the emotion. You know, you get a lot of crypto YouTubers, and it's all shock and horror. Market's going to zero. Now it's going to the moon and all this sort of stuff. It's all bullshit.
So one thing that the boys from the Moonshot Dispatch have talked about a lot is the fact that TA is based on human psychology.
Yeah.
And the way that we react when we see certain signals in the market. Now, the interesting part about TA is that as we get more and more AI agents coming online and using TA algorithmically to make decisions, That's an AI bot using an algorithm to mimic human psychology.
Yep.
Now, if we get an increase in these AI agents and then the pullback of actual humans doing trading, then all you're going to have is AI working against each other to try and work out what a human would do. And so there's going to be no humanity in there.
And then are we going to second guess them?
Exactly.
You know, you don't know, do you?
You might even have these AI trading bots which are have got choice paralysis because there's no humans doing the trading, so what are they actually basing their decisions on?
Yeah.
There was a great experiment done by a group called, I think it's N-1 or some, don't quote me, but you can see a YouTube video of this guy that put $1,000 and gave it to 6 different current LLMs and said, go ahead, make me some TA decisions and then execute those orders.
Yep.
Grok did immediately really well and then lost all its money.
Yep.
ChatGPT never got above its start level.
Yeah.
Claude did okay, just a little bit below the mean. And there was another, I can't remember off the top of my head, but one did really well and to this day is about 2x.
Is this like, IT emulating life type thing?
Pretty much.
And really, which one are you going to put your money with?
Well, again, past performance isn't a good...
Because maybe you should just be copy trading a real person, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but even
maybe
the copy
the real
traders have a
person might
bad
do
month.
better.
Yep. And, all it takes is a bad month for you to go 5x and you're wiped out. So do you do do you do leverage trading at all?
I've tried once. I had Bybit for a little bit. Didn't put a lot in.
Yep.
And for me, it was too hard. It was just taking.
It's stressful,
money.
Isn't it?
Just taking even low leverage. Even 5x and stuff. I was just losing just about every trade.
It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure.
It's the Wild West. It's not mine. I'm more an investor. I think. I don't buy and sell. I'm not in and out of the market. I pretty much buy consistently, and I'm waiting for that altcoin season at the moment, I can tell you. And Bitcoin's a long-term hold for me. In fact, even if it goes to 220, I may not sell much. I might just sell.
Wow, bullish, absolutely bullish.
Well, it's got to the point where you can risk too much by selling, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a profit target. If I reach that and I can pay off the house and retire at age 45,
definitely
then I'll go
worth
for
doing.
it.
Financial freedom's a great thing.
Yeah.
But look, I will say I sold 0.1 at 173,000, and the reason I did that is I was buying my mate at work's his car.
Yeah, okay.
Right? A little bit of cash as well, so I needed a bit more, so I just sold a little bit.
Oh, it's funny you buy that back now. You've just saved 40 grand.
I am. I've started buying back. I've saved a little bit of cash, since last month when I bought the car, and I bought some yesterday.
Yep.
0.03. All right. So I'm just back in a stacking. and by the way, I haven't bought Bitcoin since it was 70,000.
Wow.
So I've just bought some at 130.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
I mean, look, I'll be honest. My last purchase was at 170 Australian.
Yeah.
And I probably should try and find some cash to do it again. But again, not financial advice. Don't listen to what I'm saying. This is all just
DCA
pure retail speculation at this point.
Yeah.
I guess I've just done the Binance Stand reflex poll grab. Have you done any of the activities around
Which
here?
one? Finance.
So Binance,
Binance.
they've got that reflex station where they've got the
I
polls
saw
that
that
drop.
last night. Yeah.
It looks so easy,
No.
but no, I'm shockers. I only got 5 out of 10.
No,
So,
I haven't done any of them yet.
All right, okay, cool.
It was really busy yesterday, so I gave it a miss.
Today's a little bit quieter, although we do have a stacked speaker. There's 3 different stages for guest speakers, and it's stacked until about 4 p.m. So if you are still tossing up whether to come down, make sure you do and pop into the IR booth, have a chat and all that. But Trevor, thank you so much for the chat.
Good on you, mate.
Feel free to come back a little bit later, especially if we're empty. But if it's anything by yesterday, we're going to be stacked all day.
Here yesterday.
I have my voice back, which is exciting.
We were going to have this chat yesterday.
We did.
It didn't happen.
Did you come back?
Busy.
I didn't even see you if you came back. Oh, I'm so sorry. We had. If you do go through yesterday's live stream, which should still be up on YouTube and X, there are small portions of gaps, but there are some times where we let our guard down, let the wrong people speak. But I won't say who that is. I'll let you decide. Anyway, thanks very much
mate.
for the chat.
No worries.
And I'm sure we'll catch up at some point again
Yep,
today.
we will.
Cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Welcome back again to AusCryptoCon 2025, Day 2. We're getting some tax on chain / SMSF guys coming over here very shortly. So if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about putting your super into crypto, managing it smartly, and stay tuned. And hi G. G's from bitcoin.com.au. She's amazing. Say hi to the people.
Hi everyone. It's day 2 of AusCryptoCon, so I gotta head out. I'll be back.
What's that? Yeah, for sure. Come on in. This is going to be an absolute. Yeah, for sure. Is it Raphael? Is it?
Rafa.
Matt Rafa.
Thank you, Joe.
Yep. Nice to meet you. Bring this in so I can hear you.
Here we go.
And I love having just guests dropped on me with no context, so I
Yeah.
can find out everything about you.
Yeah, very
tell us
cool.
your name, where you're from, what you do, and
So
favorite color.
Rafael Franco. So I'm the founder and director of Tax on Chain, which is a crypto-focused accounting firm.
Sweet.
And we've just launched Mortgage on Chain this weekend at AusCryptoCon. So it's a extension of our existing tax business, and it's focused on helping crypto investors find a mortgage. When they go for that first property or their second property.
Okay.
Very much a traditional mortgage brokering service, but tailored to the crypto investor.
So is that using, I guess, crypto as collateral for that loan or a deposit? Or
Yeah, not quite. So a classic scenario that we would get is a client comes to us, they've say made $1 million in crypto. The next stage or phase is now to buy that property that they've been dreaming for, and crypto's allowed them to do that. They need to sell some of their crypto to fund that deposit, right?
Yep.
So there's a few things to consider. There's tax considerations.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll go through, with Tax on Chain, we'll go through a tax strategy, make sure when they sell down their crypto, they do it tax effectively.
Yep.
Or at least they know what tax bill they're going to have when they do sell that crypto. And that might involve considering a crypto-backed loan.
Okay.
So crypto-backed loans from a tax perspective can be quite effective because you're not selling the asset, you're borrowing against the asset, so no taxable event. And so a crypto-backed loan might be something they consider from a few of the providers here in Australia, and we'll go through a tax-effective strategy and show them what their tax outcome would be if they used a crypto-backed loan. So that's part of the process, considering that. And then once they've got their cash and they've figured out how to get that cash deposit, the next step is that mortgage brokering traditional service that everyone's sort of used to. We speak to 80 different lenders in the market, and obviously try to get the best loan that's suitable for their circumstance. So that's the new product or service offering that we're providing, and it's very much an extension to the Tax on Chain existing business.
Okay, so is it? Can you do just an advisory, or is it very white glove, so you can facilitate everything from the sale to filling out tax forms to getting you in touch with a broker
It's very much a end-to-end service. So every crypto investor's got tax issues to resolve.
That's true.
And so that's where they come to us first. They come to Tax on Chain, we'll sort out the tax returns, everything in order. Property investors need to have their taxes in order. So if you're a crypto investor moving into property, you need to speak to a tax accountant and you need to speak to a mortgage broker. And so that's that process from filing your tax return to be able to apply for that bank loan. We're having that advisory session from the very beginning. And so the 3 outcomes that we're trying to achieve is
It's closer to you.
3 outcomes we're trying to achieve are we want our clients to retain as much crypto as they possibly can, which is great for the exchanges. We want to make sure when they do sell down their crypto, they do so tax effectively. And thirdly, getting a mortgage from the bank, we want to make sure that that's done as smoothly as possible. So that's basically the 3 outcomes we're trying to achieve. And,
Sure.
I mean, the idea came from our own clients to set this business up. A lot of our tax clients were asking, do you have a crypto-friendly mortgage broker that can help me get that mortgage, get that loan to buy that house? And there's none that really exists in the market. A lot
That
of
is sorely missing.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
mentioned crypto, even when going for my own home loan.
Yep.
I mentioned, they go, what assets have you got? I've got, I won't say how much, but in
Yeah,
crypto, and they go, no, we can't put that in.
Yeah, it's they almost it's actually not that daunting, but just saying crypto, they just sort of.
Say digital assets. That
Yeah.
sometimes helps
Digital
more.
asset helps. That's for
Crypto sounds
blockchain,
like
but then
Dogecoin.
Yeah, exactly. You're in a meme coin or something like that. So, it's funny how professionals in the space, or not in the space, but professionals just out there, finance professionals, real estate, they're still scared of crypto
course.
and understanding crypto when it's when you've got BlackRock and these major institutions
Yep.
endorsing it. You would think that everyone would just, financial planners and advisors would just agree that it's a legitimate asset. Whether they are experts in it, that's different. But, ignoring it, it just sort of baffles me sometimes. So, financial advisors, financial planners, a lot of them are still, I wouldn't say against, or some are obviously against crypto, but a lot of them just, they don't consider it a legitimate asset, even though the people that they listen to, such as your BlackRocks, are endorsing it. So there's still a gap
So,
to fill.
what's your background? Are you an accountant by trade, or are you a crypto degenerate, or?
Yeah, so I'll tell you how we started. I got into crypto in 2017.
Yep, just like all of us. It's a
The
magical
class
year.
of 2017. That was I was still I was at uni. My mates were saying, we're on lunch break, in between classes, and they were like, oh, I just 3x my money in 3 days on Ethereum. And I was like, what is this? Well, I was like, what is this? Like, how can I make 3x my money? I'm at uni, I don't have much money. And it's funny, my first question to them was, are you reporting that on your tax return? Because I think that's a taxable event, and I'll always remember that. And that day...
So what were you studying again? Sorry, were you doing accounting?
I was studying, Bachelor of Business, majoring in HR, and a Bachelor of Commerce, majoring in accounting. So
Wow.
I was working...
Sucker for punishment.
Yeah, I was working part-time at an accounting firm at the time as well, so I was very curious about
What really shocks me is that you were doing all that and you still had friends. No, I'm joking.
All my friends are tax mates. Then, I was working at a traditional accounting firm, and I was the only one talking about crypto there. And then one of my colleagues got into crypto as well, basically at the same time, and we were the only ones at the firm that would talk about crypto. We're the crazy ones. We're trying to convince, our managers, all the other accountants, the advisors that, the cryptos are, a pretty cool and exciting thing. Around 2020, that was like around DeFi summer, 2019 DeFi summer. That's what really got me into crypto, and that's when I knew I wanted to work in crypto.
Okay.
And we started offering tax services on the side. What was a side hustle became, a business that's now got 13 employees. So that's how it sort of started.
Well done. What's the number one, pitfall that you see people fall into when, and we won't even talk about mortgages, but just holding, selling, trading crypto in general? Yeah,
probably the nightmares that we see is investors who will they'll make a lot of money early in the financial year. They've had a very, very profitable start to that financial year, and then they get wiped out.
Yep.
And they still hold on to their tokens, and they've created all these big taxable events, capital gains early in the year, and they've made a lot of losses on paper. That's the nightmare scenario, because they may have realised $1 million worth of profit earlier on, but they might be down. They might have been wiped down to zero, but they haven't sold their assets. So from a tax perspective, they've realised the capital loss, but they've got an unrealised. They've realised the capital gain, but they've got an unrealised capital loss.
Right.
And for taxes, you've got you can't offset unrealised losses against your realised gains. You've got to make sure you sell your losses to be able to offset your losses against your gains. So sometimes we've got someone who's made $1 million worth of taxable income, but they don't have the money to show for it to actually pay that tax debt off. So that's the nightmare scenario, and that's when you start discussing potential bankruptcy or pleading with the ATO to sort of give some sort of discretion and leniency to that situation where someone has not actually made the money. They made the money on and it's taxable, but they're really sitting on zero profit. So
that's interesting.
That sometimes is a bit of a sad a hard conversation to have with the client. When you say, you got to pay 300 grand worth of tax, and they've got nothing.
And they've
to
got
show
nothing.
for it.
Wow. So I guess in your experience do you see the taxman coming after your average DeFi flipper, or are they more interested? I mean, you can't speak for the ATO, obviously, but do you find the deeper pockets are more of a target?
Yeah, the high net worths definitely. There's a few red flags. Like the ATO knows that you're in crypto.
Yep.
They have that data from the exchanges, from AusTrack. So that's all sort of tracked in a way. In terms of degens on DeFi, it is obviously a lot harder for the ATO to be aware of that activity. Usually where the red flags come about is when they cash out. They cash out, and they might be, classic scenarios. Someone's driving a Ferrari. They've got insurances linked to that Ferrari, which is linked to the taxation office. They know you've got a Ferrari, but in the last financial year, you've been posting $80,000 worth of taxable income. The ATO will see there's a mismatch between lifestyle and the taxable income, and that's when they'll be like, red flag, we're going to go and audit this taxpayer because we're missing something. So that's
I swear crypto's the only industry where you get a Ferrari and only make that much.
Ferrari, Lamborghini, Teslas are quite popular with the Bitcoiners, obviously.
Even dealers would still only buy an Audi.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so
Yeah.
I actually, from personal experience, back in the COVID days, I got heavy into DeFi, and during the, I think, 2021, 2022 financial year, I must have made in excess of 5,000 separate mini trades
Transactions,
on a DEX.
Yeah.
And I was a good boy. I reported everything that I had to do, but
Nice.
I found a crypto tax accountant, and they just looked at my Excel spreadsheet of 430 something pages and just went, Jesus Christ. I'm like, all right, how do I tell the tax department that I sold 1.25 poo coin and swapped it for fart coin? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of accounting can be a nightmare. But luckily we've got professionals in that space now.
Yeah.
Yourself being one of them.
Yeah, we've got a few, and we've got a few here as well. Like the more the better. There's 25% of Australians own crypto. There's
Wow,
only 5, maybe 10 crypto accountants. I would say 5.
Yep.
Main ones. We need more accountants to. That's a fair few million investors in crypto, but there's only 5 or 6 accounting firms. So demand has never been an issue for being a tax accountant in the crypto space. Really, the main challenge that a lot of our firms face is finding the resources to meet the demand. And it's all about, when we're lucky, we've got some good tax calculators that are out there. So which is used to be called Crypto Tax Calculator.
Oh, we know Crypto Tax Calculator.
Yeah, they're
well.
our friends. We're
awesome. We're integrated with them
you
on our
guys
reserve.
are. Yeah. So that's a fantastic platform. That's the one that we use daily.
Oh wow, okay.
So we want to use the best platform that's out there, to reconcile our clients' transactions. Sometimes, probably the biggest one that we've had is someone with 1,000 wallet addresses and over 1 million transactions. We're still trying to work our way back and try and figure it out. It's a bit of forensic crypto accounting involved, but the platform we use for that is Crypto Tax Calculator or some. But yeah, if you've got a small portfolio and maybe an accountant is a bit too expensive, because us specialists, we do charge a premium for our service.
Of course.
There are alternatives using, signing up to one of these tax calculators like some. That can at least, you can sort of navigate your way through. They make it fairly intuitive. So there's no excuse these days, really, to not report your crypto taxes. So
would you suit, I guess, the investor that uses multiple exchanges, does DeFi as well?
Yeah, honestly, our favourite client is the DeFi degen, who's made a lot of money, millions of dollars in DeFi, and hopefully they've come to us before they've made their millions, because we can then structure them up properly. We can, we might set them up with a trust structure. We might set them up with a company. All different ways that we can minimise their tax bill at the end of the day. So that's our ideal sort of customer, and obviously we get free alpha as well. We're obviously tracing their transactions. We know what they're doing. We sometimes get a few tips from what they're sort of interested in and buying. So it's those are the interesting cases that we like to deal with.
Speaking of free alpha, I'm going to ask for one piece of advice, and for your crazy DeFi degenerate who's got a bit would you recommend speaking to you before they hit before they off ramp?
Yeah, before they sell is a good
When you
start.
say sell, does that include trades like
Yeah.
token for token swaps?
Yeah, so ideally, they come speak to us before they start investing big.
Right.
That way we can structure them up. If they haven't and they've gone on their own and they've done their own thing, then the next best time to have a chat with us is before they make a big sale, which could be a crypto to crypto transaction, or
Yep.
which is a crypto to crypto transaction. So that, because there still might be a way where we can improve their situation, improve their tax outcome. So an example might be someone's spent 11 months in the market, they made $1 million.
Who are
and
these
then-
people, I swear?
Yeah, they should be around. I mean, we should be surrounded by them.
It's not me, I'm just saying. And especially if you're watching ATO, it's not me.
Yeah, definitely not us. But they've been holding that asset for 11 months. They're about to realise they're $1 million capital gain. We might say to them, hey, if you want to sell, fair enough. But just letting you know, if you do hold for an extra month, half of that gain will be tax-free.
Okay, yeah.
Because if you hold an investment for
12
months or longer, you only get taxed on half the gain. So 500 grand of that gain will be tax-free if they just hold for an extra month. So that's an easy way where we can save someone, 100 or 200 grand just off saying, just wait one more month. They might still decide to sell. Might be like, now's the time to sell. I don't care. The price might, dump at any moment. In which case, we're like, fair enough. You got to wait, but you got to weigh up those options. And
Yep.
as long as that they're aware to make that informed decision, it really is. They could save tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Obviously, the more money you make, the more tax savings we can potentially provide.
I wonder if there's any form of software out there, and if you already have it, that's fine. But to bake some of those calculations into a DApp or into a DEX, that would be the ideal situation.
Ideally, yeah.
Did I just come up with an amazing
I
solution?
I think you want to bleep that out, because that's a great idea. But I think the problem with crypto is if you've just got, it moves fast. You've got blockchains, coming out every single month, every single week or day. It's hard to keep up with where degens are moving their money.
Yep.
And there's some blockchains are better than others
Yep.
for tax, for accounting purposes. So, your main ones, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, any of the Ethereum L2s, navigating through that block explorer is pretty nice and smooth. It's very, very transparent, very user-friendly. Using other blockchains, which might have only been around for a month or two, or their teams or the people behind the developers of that blockchain may not have invested too much money in creating a great block explorer for people to sort of navigate through. So to find that ideal product, it's probably going to involve AI, or definitely will involve AI. But yeah, the challenge is keeping up with all these different blockchains that they're not all built the same. So it's not like, you can just apply the same, I guess, parameters or code from one blockchain to the other. Some are just built, unfortunately, different on the bad side of things.
Okay. And from, I guess, your experience, you probably deal with the ATO fairly commonly. Are they, how experienced are they with newer products or newer mechanics within DeFi? So I mean, airdrops and yield.
Yeah,
and
they know all the basics. Like
Okay.
they know like what sort of can go on in DeFi. I mean, the other issue the ATO faces is resources. Right? So
That's what I hear a lot.
You've got millions of Australians investing in crypto. They don't have the ability to audit a million different Australians. So they really target. They have specific groups that they target.
Yep.
Obviously, with limited resources, you want to go for the high net worth individuals, or all the fraudsters as well. So
Yeah. They'd be busy. They'd be busy. Just those red flags would keep them busy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So they're underwater at the moment, I imagine, which is, I guess, luckily at Tax on Chain we haven't had an audit from the ATO ever. We've been reviewed a couple of times, and we've passed with everything's been fine, because obviously we do things properly. It is strange to think that we haven't received an audit, but I guess I just put that down to, the ATO's got
Good
limited
reporting.
resources.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll give you guys a plug. Where can we find?
Yeah, so we're at the AusCryptoCon. We're at booth number 50, right next to the Independent Reserve. But outside of the convention, find us online, taxonchain.com.au or
Easy to remember,
mortgageonchain.com.au. We're on LinkedIn and Twitter and all the other socials. So
Awesome.
plenty of ways to find us.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for the chat.
Thanks for having me along.
Been really enlightening.
Yeah. No.
And now I know where to come for my tax advice.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers.
So reporting live from AusCryptoCon 2025, day 2. Maybe another guest coming. Maybe. We'll be back in just a second. Obviously, the stream's going to keep running with some more guests, more excitement, and less profanity, hopefully. how you going? You gonna come and have a chat? Yep. Sure, if you want to. Why not? Accidental guest. Yeah. We love it here. Yep.
I'm Sam.
Sam, Jared, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Oh, we've discovered Sam from the Crypto Consulting Institute. I'll just chuck this over here.
Thanks,
I think a couple of months ago we actually had Joe Shu on our podcast. I'll put this here because it's
there you go.
to
Nice and
get
close.
over the we had Joe on for I think episode 28 or 27 if I'm wrong or if I'm right. It was such an amazing chat. How you doing? How you finding AusCryptoCon so far?
Yeah, look, I've been to a couple before, and it's certainly very retail based. I love it. It's sort of stepped up a bit of a notch from the last few times. We're really trying to gauge the floor, and we're doing a lot of networking today. Mm-hmm. And there's a real thirst for, I guess, that more sophisticated investor side, SMSF, large funds, large flows. So I'm head analyst at Crypto Consulting Institute, obviously, but we also run a hedge fund, CCI Capital, as well. And it's just a very interesting moment where crypto's at right now.
It's funny, and I've been saying this to almost everyone that sat down. You couldn't tell that we're in a bit of a pullback, could you?
Not particularly.
It's almost like everyone here has been around a few times, has seen it all before, and they're just biding their time. So is that what you're seeing, I guess, from CCI?
Yeah, we are, and I'm seeing a lot of people with high conviction either hanging around or coming in, or maybe even that they've dabbled in the crypto side and they've been absolutely rinsed and wrecked, and now they just need support and guidance of what to do from here. And I think that what's kind of happened in the last 12, 24 months is investors have needed two hats. They've needed a trader hat and an investor hat. One or the other hasn't worked, and so we find that when investors come to us, they need to have a short-term strategy, a portfolio strategy, and they really need to lift their outlook and sophistication around their portfolio because the trading game isn't working, and we're moving into a period of time of massive disruption on the exchanges with AI, algorithms, hedge fund traders. You're going to get rinsed if you keep operating the same way as you have the last 2 years or previous cycles. Doesn't work this time around. So there needs to be a change for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we tongue-in-cheek oftentimes call TA astrology for men. And I mean no disrespect whatsoever by that. And I think, I'm not even sure if it was with the discussion with Joe, but we're talking about how as we see more and more AI trading bots coming in, using TA to make decisions, TA is based on human psychology, a lot of it.
Correct.
But there's no human psychology when it comes to AI. And as more and more of the trading volume gets done by AI, they're mimicking human behavior, but they don't have it themselves. So will that fail eventually because it's just all AI? Or, I mean, this is probably your wheelhouse a lot more than us. We're just making silly off the comments.
Yeah, look, I think you have to look ahead and understand where this is going, and it's going to get more and more difficult to say as you do, beat the market. And so as investors and traders, if you're a bit of both, you need to find an edge.
Yep.
And if you do not have an edge in this market, stop what you're doing right now and step back and understand, all right, I need to figure out a way where I can beat these types of future algorithms and stuff that's here already, which I personally think is still an aspect of TA, but I hate to just zoom out, the old meme, but you need to be looking at really high level stuff and have a fundamental conviction on, okay, is this a longer term secular trend that I'm in? Is this like, for example, AI and the S&P 500, which the Mag 7's holding up the entire space? These dips are to be bought, in my view, because the trend and the fundamentals are completely real.
Yep.
But there will be sticks of dynamite that roll under the car every now and then, so you've got to be aware of that. But with your portfolio, same with like Bitcoin, you know the trend, you know where it's going broadly over time. So I think a lot of people would do very well right now to just step back, understand, okay, this is a longer term situation and trend that I'm investing in. Let's not get too cute.
Emotional?
Yeah, emotional, cute. Yeah, that's it. If you go to those lower levels and start trading, you're going to get a very different perspective on this space, I think. And it's not what we're about. We're very much about lifting people up to the higher levels.
That's a good perspective, and you're saying, if you don't have that edge, don't come and talk to us. And you probably will say no to a lot of people that want to invest.
We're discerning. However, with the fund, we're very discerning, obviously, and we make the decisions from that point. But we get a lot of different investors at all different walks of life and different stages. They might have a high net worth position. They might have a medium net worth position. But it all comes back to individuals' risk profile. Right. And that's what I find is if there's an imbalance between someone being a low-risk investor, but you look at their portfolio and you see it and analyse it, and you go, well, these are all in meme coins. All your money's in meme coins. No wonder you feel so bad in your guts, sleep. The stress is overwhelming. So you're not acting in congruence with your risk profile. So let's immediately adjust that. And then we zoom out even further and look at their entire wealth position and go, well, how much have you actually got allocated to crypto here? And I recently wrote a report around the exponential age. It's kind of a bit of a buzzword or buzz phrase that's going around at the moment, but I'm really focused on, what's the big trends coming over the next 10 years? Like what we're saying, zoom out. Well, it's hard money, of course, because of the debasement and debt expansion, but it's also energy, AI, automation, quantum, and you can throw out another pharmaceuticals and different things like that, but we need to be thinking far more larger here, that this is an era of disruption, and the old playbook, you need to throw it out. Just like we've seen with crypto, the old playbook of creating a tapestry of a portfolio of coins and just spread your risk all over the place, throw that playbook out. It's gone. I think altcoins will have their moment again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm still holding.
But I guess with our clients, the big thing that we've been on about is learn when to be offensive and learn when to be defensive.
Okay.
And if the market's not telling you it's time to be offensive, protect yourself.
So you wouldn't be the classic just hodl everything? Obviously not. Yeah,
No,
okay,
no.
good.
So I think there's an aspect of management that every investor needs to do, and if something isn't working, sometimes you just need to be decisive and go, all right, I'm going to take the tax loss on my capital gains and step back and go, all right, what have I done that's worked well, what have I done that hasn't? And the market's clearly telling me that this isn't working.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we see CCI sell everything and close up shop, do we follow?
No, I would never sell everything. I actually, and I'm probably sharing too much here, but I operate from a very Bitcoin-focused, Bitcoin-first position, and I trade into the altcoins. I still think there's some value in there, but I just don't think it's found quite product market fit outside of stable coins and layer one. So with my portfolio position, I consider a legacy stack. That's what I call it, a legacy stack. So there's a percentage of that portfolio that never gets sold. It's locked away. It goes to my kids. That's that high conviction stack. Everything else is dynamic. That I can go, is it time to be in Bitcoin, USD, gold, or in the alts? And I can decide on that percentage of the portfolio. So again, I'm a bit more dynamic and a little bit different to most people, but that's the way I look at it.
It's funny because last cycle I bought 2 hardware wallets and put a bunch of altcoins on them for my kids. It is not, it's a fraction of what it was.
It's
and I'm like,
napalm.
they're like, thanks, Dad.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no. Look, as you said, altcoins hopefully have their moment.
Yeah.
Not financial advice.
No.
If you want
I can tell you at the
advice,
moment, I think it actually does come back a little bit.
Yep.
So Binance, obviously, well, not just Binance, but all the exchanges, October 10th, we had a massive liquidation event, as we know. I think that has fundamentally wrecked the market underneath. I think the plumbing is unsettled right now, and it's going to take a while for it to recover.
Well, I blame Binance for that, so no. Hey,
we are on the Independent Reserve podcast,
look,
right?
I know that that's a conspiracy theory, but look, I'm not going to throw stones, but if you don't have your oracle set right, you can cause massive pain.
Correct.
Anyway.
So, and I think it just shows that the risk around third parties and exchanges is still there, and you have to be very wary of it. But for mine, that was a systemic risk at the time. Auto deleveraging, like everyone gets wrecked. Okay, right. Probably some market makers are completely undone, and I would say the price action bounce is the aggressiveness of this sell-off is mechanical. It's kind of unnatural, and that's what I'm sort of seeing. So I'm actually still bullish on 2026. I don't know. There's probably a lot of people that are doomerish here, or maybe they're still bullish. I don't know, but I look at the macro time. I'm like, there's no way in hell crypto and Bitcoin stay down if everything I'm seeing comes to pass. But this right now is a moment we just have to survive and get through. But in terms of alts, the Clarity Act in the United States, I think that is being underestimated as a very serious turn, because I think institutional investors want some kind of surety under their investment thesis. Going like, if I buy these alts, can one of these exchanges just auto deleverage and go, and I'll just pick on Sui for a sec, went down like 60, 70% overnight on that deleveraging. You're like, okay, well, why would I put in $10 million into these alts right now when I need some assurity, and maybe through regulation, especially from the American side where a lot of the flows come from. So I think that will mark a turning point in the altcoin market. I think Bitcoin's still going to do pretty well. I actually think it's going to rally and climb a wall of worry here over the next couple of months, not straight away. Liquidity takes time. But yeah, that's my outlook currently.
Okay. I think I'm actually forgetting what the name of the coin is. I think it was Cadena that recently just turned around and said, "We're ceasing operations. Good luck."
Yeah, actually, you're right. I do remember.
Was
that.
it Cadena?
I think so. Let's just throw them under the bus. It's not them.
Look, I'm not sure. So if you're listening and you hold them, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that was the prediction made at the end of kind of as we're going down. They're going 95% of alts will be wiped out by the time next cycle comes. That hasn't necessarily happened.
Yeah.
But we have seen a few of them. Do you, I guess, throw out caution to anyone holding some of those riskier assets
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like, do you throw the baby out with the bathwater at the low if you think it's the low kind of situation? I'm really big on with clients who maybe they feel stuck in positions in their portfolio, either leverage or these high risk stuff, is give yourself an out. Give yourself, have an upside downside strategy on some of these alts and go, look, I'm going out of the weekly or the monthly and here's this amazingly big support level that it's obvious to everyone looking at it, going like, if it closes beneath this at any given point, that's my level to live to fight another day. I'm removing I just need this mental hurt off my back. I'll claim the tax loss. Just get out of this and replumb and rejig from your portfolio from there. But on the flip, so I think that downside strategy is really important just for your own mental health. However, we're at such a low ebb where alts have just been like apocalypse now, napalmed and napalmed and napalmed. I'm just kind of like, well, it could go lower, but I do wonder, fundamentally, and I say this in the air quotes, fundamentally strong layer ones and assets like that, I really think that the risk reward is starting to look okay, but I'm of the, again, we spoke about TA earlier, I'm waiting for, I'm happy to, and I say this to clients, I'm happy to pay a premium for more information higher. Okay. I want to pay a premium for confirmation because right now all these alts are pretty much just going down, right?
Yep.
There's no bounce, there's no nothing. So I want to see some higher highs, higher lows. I want to see a reclaim of like a support level before I even think about getting into this because it could go another 80% down.
Well, even my favourite alt, I'm not going to name names again just in case, but it's still more than 2x from the bottom of last cycle. So I'm like, what am I actually complaining about when I bought a lot at that bottom?
You've zoomed out, bro. You've done the whole zoom out.
Look, I still bought at $4 and we're at 90 cents or something like that. So
I'm trying to think which one's $4.
It's Cardano.
Yeah.
But I mean, one final question is, would you have often people coming to you asking for advice on something that you clearly know is not a good idea? Again, I won't name the chain, but we had an older couple coming in and asking how we would facilitate a $250,000 purchase of a chain by a certain Australian that we're not going to mention.
Okay. Okay, here's the data, here's the market cap. It's 98% down versus Bitcoin over 4 years. Is this something you want to put into, or let's look at the team behind this, let's look at the fundamentals of this. And
the criminal convictions of the founder.
One person, central point of failure, sounds great. So you try and craft that picture, but if it's not sinking in, we're really big on being honest. And if they go away and make that decision themselves, that's not on us. It's on them, and they will have to learn from that. So, look, that's what I'm really proud of CCI is when we saw the market not behaving the way it previously did, whereas, previous cycles would see altcoins run after Bitcoin. You'd see all this. We're like, guys, it's really not behaving as we anticipated here or seen previously. Future results aren't indicative of past results sort of thing. We're like, all right, well, we have to protect ourselves here, and we need to be very dynamic with how the new ETF era is flowing. So, look, long story short, I wouldn't not tell them how we felt and the truth, that we feel at the time, the truth, based on a lot of data indicators, but it's on them. And they can give us pushback fine, but no, at the end of the day, we've been around the block a few times and we've seen this many times, but good luck to you. Yeah,
awesome. All right, thank you so much for sitting down and having a chat with us. If you guys want to see, is Joe the founder CEO?
He is, yes.
Joe appeared on our podcast, episode 27. Don't click off this stream and go watch it later when we're not streaming, but episode 27 is a great chat. We talk about Bitcoin dominance, TA, and spiritual escapism into ayahuasca.
You sit down and start to talk about crypto, and then he starts, oh my goodness, this is so interesting, and you delve into it.
We bonded over DMT. Not on DMT, over DMT. So look, it was a
So
great
many
chat.
do.
But yeah, thank you so much
My
for joining
pleasure,
us.
mate.
And
Yeah, absolute pleasure.
you've got a booth here as well.
No, we don't.
don't?
Maybe next time. We're networking today. We're really
Awesome.
enjoying it. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll make sure if I come and see you again and shake hands and tell you actually what I was going to say on stream, but I didn't have the guts to. All right, thanks a lot. Thank
Good
you.
stuff. Thanks,
Cheers.
Jared. Tough.
Oh look, you can say something rude if you really want to. I didn't have the audio on, so it would have been quiet for everyone watching. Just pull that across. Okay, again, hello from AusCryptoCon Day 2, 2025, Australia. I said that all out of order. I am Jared from Independent Reserve. We're here with... Oh, you don't have a name.
I'm David.
David.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
look, would you like to have a look?
Look, it says... normally it says a name, but it just says Consensus Layer. So is your first name Consensus, or is that your last name?
I don't know, is it? No, to be honest, I care a little bit about privacy, so I didn't want to give out my personal details on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, just on online platforms and things like that.
We'll call you like D.eth or
No,
something.
But my name is David.
Okay, well, nice to meet you, David. I'm Jared.
Nice to meet you too.
Consensus Layer, do you have a booth here at AusCryptoCon?
No, I'm a freedom maximalist. I like to roam around and say hello to people.
Freedom maxing? All right, so just wandering around, having a chat to different people, hopefully not doing cringy pitches.
Well, I mean, that's what crypto is about, I think, sometimes.
Oh,
I don't do fringy stuff. I just like to shake hands, talk to people, get to know people, talk a little bit about talk the shit a little bit.
Yeah, oh, sweet.
And get to meaningful conversations, I think.
Look, I had a guy yesterday, we shook hands, and then immediately afterwards, he pulled out some hand sanitizer and did one of these. Would you take that personally? That really upset me. I'm like, was it you or me? So
Maybe during COVID.
Yeah,
we're a little bit out of COVID now. So.
It's been a few years, so...
Well, look, some people, I think, will build a habit. You still see some people with the masks on. And that's all right. Each to their own, right? Okay, you're trying to protect yourself.
Yeah, I understand. So Consensus Layer.
Yeah.
Immediately I thought it, and it rung a bell,
Yes.
but then I realised I was completely wrong because I'm just confusing consensus,
Probably, yeah.
which is a
Very
blockchain
common
term.
It is a very...
So tell us what Consensus Layer is in a nutshell.
So, I mean, okay, we chose the name Consensus Layer. Me and my other co-founder chose the name Consensus Layer because that is the mechanism where everyone agrees on how the computer system, how the blockchain, how agreement is reached. You have to have consensus to have the next block. So for us, we're like thinking we need agreement with our team, with our founders, with our clients, with our partners, so it is that level consensus layer where we all agree on certain things. We're a team, we can do tax and accounting, and that's the layer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you're crypto tax accountants.
Yes.
Was that always your dream?
So I have a number of years, and maybe showing my age here, I don't know if I'm doing, but I've got a decade of experience in accounting and tax.
Yep.
I'm a qualified chartered accountant.
Yep.
And a qualified SMSF specialist advisor.
Well,
I did have a TradFi accounting experience, but now I'm no longer a TradFi accountant. I am how would you describe it? Maybe a little bit of a James Bond accountant now.
There we
Kind
go.
of cool. Kind of sexy, crypto, right?
do you drive an Aston Martin?
Oh, I wish I could, but maybe one day.
So business isn't going that well. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. So, like, when you started your accounting degree, did you ever think that you'd end up in crypto?
No,
'Cause
no,
was
no.
crypto even? I don't need to ask your age.
Well, no. I mean, like when I finished university, it would have been just Bitcoin would have only just been a few years old. So there was barely an industry at all, right? But now, 16, 17 years after now?
Okay.
The industry is starting to mature, and I came upon Bitcoin and crypto for about almost 5 years ago, and went on a journey. I think typical journey. You go in, you learn a lot. You go down a rabbit hole of central banking and how they print money. That really drew me in, and ever since then, I've been sucked in, wanted to learn more. I knew I needed to get into space full time somehow. So I was an accountant in the TradFi space, and I was like, maybe I can do crypto accounting full time. It's a easy-ish pivot, I'm an accountant. Maybe I can just focus on people with crypto only. So I went full steam ahead probably about 3 years ago or 3.5 years ago, started doing crypto accounting full time, and then about 2 and a bit years ago, started my own crypto accounting firm,
Okay, cool.
crypto tax and accounting firm.
So is it just
sorry.
yourself, or do you have a team as
There's
well?
another co-founder. He's in the background. I've got another contractor. So we really focus on structuring,
Yep.
restructuring, tax compliance, crypto accounting, obviously. I mean, that's what we do, right? It's all about crypto. So crypto accounting, end of financial year tax planning. But it is something that I really like because I love the industry. I think it's the most exciting industry to be in. And people do need advice around the crypto space. It's a different industry. It's a new global asset
Yes.
that demands different things of different players, right?
So in terms, I guess, we spoke a little bit off camera, and you were
Yes.
mentioning that, I guess, SMSFs are a big
okay.
source of, I guess, your business at the moment.
So I do have a long experience with self-managed super fund as well.
Yep.
Like I've been in the space for a number of 10 years in self-managed super fund. So I've seen a lot of things happen in self-managed super fund. And a lot of the experience I've had with crypto and self-managed super funds is that a lot of people who dive into the crypto space personally, they spent all their money. And they're like, how else can I get into crypto? Oh,
That was
what
me,
else
that
is
was
there?
me.
Ah, sounds familiar, the journey, hey?
Very much so.
And yeah, so they're like, okay, super. Self-managed super fund.
Super.
Oh, maybe.
So, a question about the clientele that you would have that are
Yep.
doing crypto tax accounting through their SMSFs. What's the age demographic of most of your SMSF clients?
Okay, so typically it is in line with the crypto cohort, younger, probably typically 30 to 45.
Yep, that's me.
But that is the main cohort. But I do have other clients that are older and that have self-managed super funds. They're same, they've gone into crypto, they've got superannuation and retail industry super fund. The super fund won't let them do crypto.
Yeah, wow.
You can't, industry and retail super funds will not let you directly buy crypto. So the only other option is a self-managed super fund.
Right.
That's the only way that you can directly get your super to be invested in crypto. And it's the only way you can actually self-custody if that's an option that you would like to do. I can't imagine the retail industry super funds will ever let their members, because it gives them control. They have a fiduciary duty, right? The trustees of these Host Plus, Q Super, Australian Super, to protect their members. Diversification is an important issue. They've got to make sure the members don't do anything illegal in the super fund. And if you give control to your members, well, things might get out of control, right? Okay, so self-managed super fund gives members, taxpayers, control over their superannuation destination. Control, flexibility, everything. So naturally for, I think, a lot of crypto folks who I would say are much more the DIY researcher and on their own journey, they're like, yeah, I know how to do this. I've seen the returns. I can probably do better than 12% a year on average. I've seen. So they're like, okay, I think I can do this, you know?
So SMSFs, I like to liken it to enabling administrator mode on your computer, where you're allowed to make the mistakes that safe mode wouldn't allow you to.
Okay, well, this is where I'll say, like...
No, it allows you to. It doesn't mean that you would give bad advice.
Oh, yes.
I'm saying that the SMSFs...
You have total control.
Exactly right. So, I mean, obviously, when you're advising or consulting with SMS, you would obviously give the best advice and try and put in some form of guardrails. I wasn't decrying your business at all. Are there times where you go, please, chill out,
look,
don't buy $2.9 million worth of fart coin?
I'll go through. I'm not allowed to give financial advice
Neither
or
am I.
investment financial, advice. But look, if someone does come to me and say, I want to set up a self-managed super fund and I'm going to put it all in butthole. I'm like, well, I can't stop you.
Is this a storage
but-
method, or are you buying a coin?
I mean, some people make money, but again, I can't give financial advice. I'm like,
Is this your wallet or your prison wallet? Wow. Anyway.
diversification, maybe, I can't. But anything else in crypto that you might consider, like, want some top coins potentially?
It's
So,
funny because
yeah.
you say that, but you always get those edge cases where they've done really well, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, of course.
I
So
would have
that's
told you
where-
not to do that.
So again, I do take my obligations and duties
Of course.
professionally quite seriously. I can't give financial, and they might make money. So I'm like,
Yep.
look, just again, if it's more on the, altcoin sort of top, I don't know, 1,000 coin range, I'm like, diversification, But if it's all like, 50% ETH, 50% Bitcoin, I'm like, all right, well.
See, even I wasn't that risk, and I'm not going to say my exact
yeah.
spread, but what I put in alts was only about 30% of my total.
And that's very
crypto
typical.
SMSF. Yeah. Okay.
Very typical, because a lot of people are like, well, I can't access my super until 20, 30 years. I better get into something that's actually going to last and be there 20, 30 years. And usually the ones they kind of think that's going to be around for 20, 30 years are, the top coins. And which one has been around for the longest so far? I can only think of one. Bitcoin, the OG, the one that started it all. So maybe. But like, it is more also having that relationship with the client and telling them about things.
Sorry, just one
Sorry.
second. It looks like we've frozen.
Oh,
So I'm just going to just really quickly. Oh, it's unplugged. Just 1 second.
Yes.
I'll be 1 second, guys.
market's gone all right. I mean, market's the market, right? Good for buyers. Oh, jeez. We're still. Oh, audio's going, all right, but just the video's not.
Sorry, ladies and gents, we're just trying to get the camera working, so won't be long.
Having some technical difficulties, unfortunately. Just will bear with. Okay.
Yeah, look at that. Right.
Right. So they weren't looking at our beautiful faces for the last.
I actually have no idea when that stopped. So
Okay.
we're using a webcam right now while we fix the. Oh, no, that's terrible. Hang on. That's only you. Which is not a bad thing. It's just there we go. There we go. All right. We are back. I apologise for the interruption.
Technical difficulties.
We'll keep chatting while I somehow charge this battery, which completely died.
Oh, no.
Even though it's
okay.
plugged in, we shouldn't have had that issue.
That is weird.
Where were we? I'm so sorry.
No, just talking about, I think, client relationships, having that good relationship so that I can advise clients not to make stupid mistakes, hopefully.
Yep.
Yes, they have the prerogative, but I just warn them, like, you might not be able to do this in super funds. It's illegal to do that. Or maybe it's a bit of a grey area, so just expect weird tax outcomes potentially, or pay for advice.
So you would-
complications.
Do you do a consulting? Is there a consulting element of your SMSF function, or is it just the auditing and the tax reporting and the setting
Well,
up?
so the way I operate is that we do annual tax compliance, and we have a service where, okay, we want people to contact us
Yep.
and come through with any quick questions or emails, If I can resolve it in 5-10 minutes, I'm happy to have a chat with them on the phone or email, right? Within 24 to 48 hours, tell them about certain things. Otherwise, if not, if it's a bigger piece of work, I'll let them know.
Yep.
But we are about service. We are about having that relationship because we want guys to ask that stupid question, maybe. Because we want to be as approachable and we want to be able to advise and have that honest relationship where you can just tell us things, right?
Sure.
Because I'd prefer you to tell me something, let you know you can't do that over 5 minutes, than in a year or two find out that it's a massive headache, hours and hours of extra time spent, thousands of dollars or whatever it is of cost. So it's better to have a good relationship and just speak to your accountant, right?
Very much so.
Maybe.
So do you find that most people that come in and want the help setting up an SMSF, or are they generally sophisticated investors?
Get a range.
Okay.
Definitely get a range. We get I get the ones from Bitcoin Maxis all the way to probably... look, I think superannuation, people take it a lot, I think, more seriously. So they just are more cautious, I think, with the superannuation space. So maybe, and plus it's audited. So it's a bit more serious. They have to treat things more seriously, not do anything illegal, because it's going to go through an audit annually. You don't want to crap things up, right?
Do you find that maybe the younger demographic is a bit more doom and gloom, and so they don't actually expect to live as long as their super would
I don't
mature?
know. No. Well, I've definitely had cases where they're like, the financial system's just screwed anyway, right? So this is opt out. I'm I'm perfectly fine with that. I
It's funny
understand that.
But they're opting out within the system. Do you know what I mean?
It's
such
being
a
smart.
dichotomy, yeah.
They got super. Well, you might as well try to play the game.
Yep.
As much as you can within the environment that you're given and the rules that we have to play to. So if you can get some super into crypto.
Well, it's funny because I was in it wasn't a self-managed super. It was a super that had an accountant that would call up and would tell me ask me where I wanted to put things every year.
Okay.
And so
for your contributions?
Yeah. And right before COVID, I had a feeling, I'm like, let's go 70% tech, 20% real estate, and 10% cash.
Okay.
And then COVID happened, and
yes.
And we had a 19.7% year. And I thought, this is great. Then put it into crypto and had a 72% year the year after. And so I'm like, even on its best year, traditional finance made me 3 times less than crypto.
I mean,
again,
yes.
not financial advice,
No,
but if you know what you're doing and you have the right advice, you can do very well.
Again, there's a number of...
It was a lucky year. That's all I'm saying. Don't want to talk about 2023.
Oh, yeah. Look, you have good years, you have bad years, right?
Exactly right.
Like any super normal industry or retail super fund, but you did better.
Yeah.
But, yes, there are a few big reasons why people start SMSFs, right? Some is real estate. They can directly buy property. And that's including residential, commercial. The commercial side, they're a business owner. They want to buy a commercial property because they're sick of paying rent to other landlords. So they're like, I'm going to pay it to my SMSF, right? Another one's like exotic investments. They might have a good rich friend that's in the hedge fund industry and knows something's going to go off in a particular company, and okay, that's right. SMSF is a good option as well. They're like, okay, I'm gonna get into that. I want some of that action, right? And another major reason, crypto, because that's the really only way you can directly buy crypto and self-custody, right? Industry and retail super funds don't let you do that. Self-managed super funds give you complete control, flexibility over super. Yep. Your decisions and your decision. You're not hamstrung by other fiduciary duties. It's on you. It's your responsibility to do all of that. So we have plenty. I mean, look, I'm a crypto accountant. There's a lot of SMSFs in my client base. And I would say, all of them have crypto and super,
Awesome. So
naturally.
How does someone find Consensus Layers? Simple Google search, or what's the
Yeah,
website?
easiest way is to look at our website, www.consensuslayer.com.au.
Yep.
Submit an inquiry form through our contact page, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Do we ask for?
What do you want to ask?
No. I'm saying like if they give you a call or they send you an inquiry, do we ask for you by name, or do we not want to talk about the name again?
Oh, no. Look, you can ask for David. That's completely fine. In
Awesome.
the email, an inquiry form, just if you mention ACC, that way I know to look for you guys and know, oh, okay, you've come from this.
Yep.
And I can keep that in mind.
And if they come through us, we'll work out a referral fee, won't we?
Paid
I'm
in
joking.
Bitcoin, right?
That's it.
I
that's
accept
it.
Bitcoin.
We all do. We all do.
I would like some more.
Anyway, look, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you. I'm going to fix our tech issues after this chat, and then we'll probably reconnect the stream afterwards. But thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
All right. See ya.